Okay, part three, here we go. We got jerkbait box open and going through all the jerkbaits. Best time of year to use these for me would probably have to be early spring, especially the time when the fish are willing to come up for a bait, and a suspending model jerkbait would be well in order. One bait that I undoubtedly love to throw a lot that time of year would be the Lucky Craft Pointer 100, and you see them all in the front row here. These are all Pointer 100s. My go-to color around here is the American Majestic Shad, which you see here. There's one and then there's another, so I have doubles. Um, it's like a perfect representation of a gizzard shad up here in Illinois. And at that time, a lot of the lakes around here where I'm from, right after ice out, there's like tons of dead gizzard shad everywhere. And you know, the ones that aren't dead yet are really sluggish and just on the verge of dying. And you take a jerkbait like these Pointer 100s and you throw it out there and twitch it once or twice, get it down to where you think those fish are at, and just let it sit. That's all you have to do, is just let it sit. Just don't hold your line tight. Just It's not going to float. It's not going to sink. It's going to sit wherever you work it down to. They're just that good of a quality suspending bait. And if you can't afford the Lucky Crafts, that's okay. The Smithwicks are just as good, if you ask me. The Rapala X-Wraps as well. Sometimes they won't want a 100. I'll have to switch to a 78. And if they don't want a 78, sometimes I'll switch to a Rapala X-Wrap or one of the Smithwick Rattling Rogues that you see. I mean, that's why I have so many colors. You can call me a color freak. I don't care, but there are times, I tell you, when I just make a subtle change in the color and it seems to make a world of difference. And then there's other times where it doesn't really seem to matter. But that definitely is one of my go-to colors where I'm from. And if you're wondering why there's the salt packs in here and there's also toothpicks in the bottom, it's because those are Lucky Crafts, and I don't want the water to start to decay the hooks that are on those baits, because they are pricey, but do they work? And next we'll go into deep diving crankbaits up at the top here, and then here we have some swim baits as well, and some more crankbaits. These are 100% balsa wood, and they're bigger in size, which means I didn't have room for them in the next box over here, which you'll see it's pretty packed, and I feel comfortable saying that I now at this time have enough stuff to where I can stop collecting for a while. But I'll say that now, but I'll probably be buying more stuff next week if it goes on sale. But here's some swim baits as well. The Huddlestons, I'll throw these in Illinois. No problem catching big fish on these, especially in the fall season. The big Castaic swim baits, the Ospreys, and then for deep diving we have Excaliburs, we have DTs, and some other off-brands in there. But next is shallow and medium diving cranks. So here's the Strike King 4S I was talking about in comparison to the 2.5 and the 1.5, which you see here. So let me pull out this lure has been to hell and back. And this is the Strike King 4S Series Chartreuse and Black crankbait. Now if you compare that to a 2.5 and a 1.5, you see it's almost right in the middle. Almost about the same size as a 1.5, but not as long. And it's more flat-sided. Okay? That bait has caught me so many fish, I can't even tell you guys. That's why it's in such rough shape. But you see how the 2.5 is much wider than the 1.5? The bill is almost identical. It's a little bit smaller. It says 4S for 4-foot shallow is what they say it dives to, but I've gotten it, as deep as probably 5 feet using really light diameter line, like 8-pound test line. Up here in Illinois we don't have 10-pounders, so I can go with 8-pound test line and feel comfortable, because most of the fish, are going to be under that 5-pound range. So, but you see the differences there. These have a little bit more shoulders on the side, as this is more flat-sided. Kind of similar to the Spros. The Little Johns that you see here, very similar in design, just a little bit longer, and they still throw very nicely. Not as good as these ones do, but I can still throw a 4S, which are all right here. a pretty good distance. And I really like these new Spro Fat Johns that just came out. I only have 2 right now, but I'm definitely going to get more of these next year when I find more colors available in my area. In addition, we have Bandits, Strike Kings, Excaliburs, Rapalas, Bombers, more Strike Kings, Baby T1 minuses, Storm Wiggleworts, Subworts, you name it, it's in here. So that's my hard bait tackle. And I'll end this part here, and we got all of this to go through next. So again, thanks for watching, and go to the next part.